Alright guys, so we're continuing going through my Blu-ray collection. Remember, these are just fun videos. Hope you guys enjoyed the recent video on Mondo Cane and the magic structure. And, it's not too complex of a video. Let's get right into it, right? It seems that every time I leave off on a video, I always end one movie short of finishing a letter. So, of course, this is the last H. I could have just included it in the end of the last video and moved on to I, but we're not geniuses here. This is The Hurt Locker. This is a bit of an overrated movie, I won't lie to you. 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. That's a bit strong. It's not that good. It was solid, I won't lie. This could go for a rewatch. I'm worried, though, that it won't stand up, so I haven't rewatched it. This might be on the chopping blocks. Ides of March. This is a pretty good movie. It might be on the chopping block. It's about politics, kind of Democrat, Republican stuff. But it's not about, like, Trump, Obama. It's about, like, George Clooney's a politician. Makes sense. George Clooney would be a good politician. Good looking, charming, funny, articulate. Makes sense. And then Ryan Gosling's kind of the young protege coming up in that world, and this has to learn as he goes. And then of course you have Paul Giamatti playing the rival politician. That's cool too. I love Paul Giamatti, and this is solid. It's a little forgettable. Philip Seymour Hoffman is in it. I miss him. It's not bad. This might go for a rewatch too. We're off to a bit of a rough start on this video. And the rough start's going to continue. The Imitation Game. Not a bad movie. Not a bad movie. It needs a rewatch. I remember watching in theaters and really liking it. This was 2014, wasn't it? Yeah, that's my year. And I don't know. It's solid. It's about Alan Turing, who deciphered the code that the Nazis would use to communicate. And of course, that offered a huge advantage because now we knew their plans before they were going to happen, of course. In war, it's always good to know your enemy's plans, especially if they amount to killing you. But Benedict Cumberbatch was good. Keira Knightley was good. It's just, again, it's a little forgetful. It was cool. It was directed fine enough, I remember, but it didn't make that much of an impact. All right, finally, a great movie, In Bruges. You have to watch this movie. I love Martin McDonagh. Easily one of my favorite filmmakers ever. I think he just doesn't miss, even when he does these sort of dark comedies. And this is Colin Farrell, Ray Fiennes, and Brendan Gleeson. Ray Fiennes is okay in this. He's like the one thing I would nitpick. Sometimes he's a little much. But this is great. This is about two hitmen who one's kind of depressed and the other one has to do a job he really doesn't want to do. And this is great. It's super dark humor. Great. I like that it was shot on location. It's not just a bunch of green screen. Colin Farrell's amazing. Brendan Gleeson's amazing. They're both doing comedic performances, particularly Brendan Gleeson. I feel like you don't see him do that too much. It was nice to see him do that. And if you like Colin Farrell, please watch this. This is a legitimately great movie. It's fun, funny. It's action packed. It's clever. There's a thing about dwarfs in this that's kind of weird but kind of cool. And I really want my mom to watch this. I know she would love this movie. Mom, if you're watching this, watch this. Let's see. Okay, Incendie. This is directed by Denis Villeneuve, and I'll say one thing about this movie. This movie lives or dies based on your acceptance of the plot twist. Let me explain to you why I accept the plot twist. Let's just say in realistic terms, it's convenient. But we're not watching a documentary, we're watching a film. Now, a film, I don't want to get too out there for you, but a film is a product of mythical storytelling. Now, mythical storytelling derives from, of course, myth, and myth derives from the imagination, right? We are imagining, we are silently, internally reflecting, you could even close your eyes, and then we are putting to audible sound what has been seen when we reflected. Mythology is the shaping and crafting of images that touches the soul and carries the spirit forward. Emphasis on images, and of course, when we have imagistic mediums like the film, this is mythical, and mythical is symbolic. Mythology is crafting and shaping of images, which always have symbolic, qualitative, subjective interpretations. We're telling stories, and we're not trying. My point is, we're not doing scientific experiments or logical proofs. This is irrational So we don't need to be super rational, right? So when the twist or reveal happens, yeah, it's a little far fetched realistically, but I think it works on a thematic level. And since this is story and we're not necessarily bound to the laws of logic, I didn't have a problem with the twist in this movie because it worked thematically and it was almost Shakespearean in that sense. But this is about, I believe it's the Lebanese War. I'm not going to pretend to know anything about that. But you know, a lot of horrors of war, and it's got that, like I said, kind of a Shakespearean drama to it. I think you should watch it at least at least once. Next up, Inception. Now, if I told you, which I'm about to, but I asked I asked my mother to watch this movie. She watched it once. I don't think she took it that seriously. Hated it. Everyone loved it, so she watched it again years later, and still didn't like it. Couldn't finish it. She describes this movie as quote the elevator movie. There's one scene with an elevator in this entire film, this entire 3-hour film about dreams within dreams, with all this action, with all this crazy stuff. She doesn't even say, "Oh yeah, that one with Leo and Tom Hardy," or "Oh yeah, the one with yeah, the dreams." That's right. No, it's the elevator movie. It's like calling Whiplash the scene with the movie with the diner. It's like, yeah, that's one scene, and it really wasn't that big of a deal. Um, this is a fun movie. I mean, it's a little cliche, but I wish they would make more summer movies like this. I actually I like the sort of hipster, pretentious movies, and we'll get there at the end. But I also like these too. Like, if it's good, it's good. That's what I always say. I don't care if it's big budget or low budget. If it's good, it's good. And this is good. It's not perfect or anything. This is a summer blockbuster. It's fun. It's unique. It's interesting. And it has something to say. And it has something new to show off. And the action scenes are cool. All the acting is great. The cast is good. Everyone loves Inception. The only problem is, what's her name? Ellen Page's character. She's fine in the movie. It's a little. She's that. Let's just say the audience is filtered through her. She's sort of this blank slate where the audience kind of just. All right, so we're going to do the next three all together. So these are the Indiana Jones movies. Now, these are good movies. I'm embarrassed to say I did not watch these until last year. Actually, I had gone 27 years without watching these films, and they are solid movies. I like them. I don't quite like them like you guys do. More power to you. More power to you. Not trying to be the fun police here. Um, and I understand why they're successful. For what they are, they're pretty great. For these sort of summer blockbuster adventures, they're pretty great. There's a film later we'll get into this, not in this video, but later on, another adventure film that I actually think is better. I've actually seen Dial of Destiny too. Actually, now that I think about it, I've seen all the Indiana Jones because I saw Indiana Jones 4 in theaters when I was a kid. And like I said, I hadn't seen these three, but back then I only saw theaters when my buddies were like, "Hey, do you want to go? We're going right now." So you have to hop in the car. So I was like, "All right." Good movies. I actually think Harrison Ford wasn't the best in Raiders of the Lost Ark. I know I'm not trying to be um, contrarian, but he, I think he got better as it went on. This was a fun movie. Temple of Doom was a little annoying, and Last Crusade was good. And then I was like, okay, we're done with Indiana Jones. But then, of course, they made Dial of Destiny, which was a tragedy. Let's see, Last Crusade. All right, so solid, but everyone relax. Inglorious Bastards, you kind of have to have this. This is a great movie. Um, what's there to say about this that hasn't been said? Christoph Waltz is amazing. Brad Pitt is great. The writing is good. The dialogue's pretty good, and the direction is good. I mean, picking between this and Django, it's very difficult. It really depends on what day of the week you ask me. But what's there to say about this that hasn't been said? The Insider. This is kind of an underrated movie. This is about Russell Crowe. Now he plays I don't know if he's an executive or just a worker at a big tobacco firm, Big Tobacco, almost in a literal and figurative sense. And he uncovers that these guys are lying to us about what's going in these cigarettes and how they're killing us. They're just straight up lying. And he really risks it all to be a whistleblower. This is a movie about whistleblowing. And man, the way let's just say it's effective in the movie where you really think that, man, this guy really has lost everything. And this guy has just taken on this huge burden for us and to make it known. And it makes you also kind of makes you think of when you're taking the stand, the moral stance, what happens when others incur a cost based on your moral stance? Um, Interesting. That's what I thought of after this movie, because his family takes on a cost too. And there's even a throwaway line that his wife says, like, "Okay, that's great, but why do we have to pay for it?" And this is a good movie. Al Pacino's also in this movie, and he plays, I believe, one of the news reporters that helps spread the info that Russell Crowe gives. This is a good movie. It's a bit long. It honestly might be my favorite Michael Mann movie. It's not Heat. It's not going to be Heat. Either this or Collateral. But solid movie. Insomnia. This is a good movie. This is a Christopher Nolan movie. I really love Robin Williams in this movie. He's very restrained in this movie. He plays a serial killer. Um, and Al Pacino plays just a detective, normal detective. And who is the other one? The $1 Million Baby lady. What's her name? Hilary Swank. She's in this movie too. She was pretty good. It's We're not reinventing the wheel with this movie. It's kind of a good guy, bad guy, cop, serial killer movie. But Robin Williams is really good. He does play it like he's a little off, and he's definitely a little off, but he's not that off. He's not that weird. It's not like he's going over the top, and I really appreciate that. As I've said multiple times throughout this sort of series, I like when big actors go subtle, and Robin Williams does that. Al Pacino, for the most part, does that too. This is a pretty good role. There's one scene where he gets really angry and he does his Pacino, but it kind of makes sense with the character because he just something bad happened. Yeah, I'd probably yell too. Definitely check this out. If you're a Christopher Nolan fan and you haven't seen it, this is better than I thought it was going to be. I still have to see Following. That's the only one I haven't seen. In the Line of Fire. My mom showed me this movie. This is a good movie. It's not like amazing. Clint Eastwood's good. Renee Russo is good. It was nice to see her in something good besides Nightcrawler. That's not to say she was never in anything good. I just hadn't seen it. Can we please stop pretending that John Malkovich is like this amazing actor? He was fine in this. He was a little over the top. I don't understand why he gets this reputation for being like a Daniel Day-Lewis type. You're not even close. This is like a Secret Service bad guy trying to kill the president or Clint Eastwood or whatever. It's fun while you're watching it. Maybe not the biggest impact, but it was fun. This is a good movie. This is a good recent movie. The Iron Claw. It's about wrestling technically, but what it's really about is family and loss and tragedy. This is something you could watch with your family, maybe if your kids are a little older, and it's a little sad. But this is a great movie. This is a great movie. I love the way it was directed. I love the way it looked. I like the acting for the most part. It wasn't perfect by any means. It wasn't a perfect film. But Zac Efron's really great in this. This is easily his best performance, I think. Um, I even like the dude from The Bear or whatever it was. He's pretty good in this. I like Lily James. I could have used a little more of her in this movie. But this is a really beautiful and poignant film. It's not really about WWE and wrestling. It's about the family, and it's about just a weird family that faced just a ton of tragedy, and it's beautiful. I love this film. Please watch this film. It's very nice. Very sad too. I love dogs. This is. I think this might be the only animated film I have in my entire collection. I do not like animated films. They're just not for me. More power to you if you do, I guess, or anime. I think it's lame, but knock yourself out. I don't care. Except for this one, Wes Anderson's good. This could go for a rewatch. I haven't watched it since I watched it in a hipster theater in Baltimore. It must have been 2017 when this came out, right? It was good. I remember thinking the stop go animation was really great, and I liked all the voice acting. But this one could go for a rewatch. But I like Wes Anderson, except for Asteroid City. We don't like Asteroid City because Asteroid City almost sent me to the hospital. That was terrible. I saw The Devil. This is a fun foreign movie. It's fun, but it's also very violent. It's about revenge. All great. No one does revenge better than the Koreans. They just, I don't know. It's like us and cheeseburgers. Cheeseburgers. They just, anytime like South Korea makes a story about revenge, it's awesome. It's like, not only is it awesome, it's infinitely better than the stories we have in America about revenge. Right? Nothing compared to these films. Now, this is actually featuring as the not the star, but the villain is actually the guy from Old Boy, so that's cool. But this is just a great revenge movie. It's not quite Old Boy. It's not quite that audacious. But let's just say my man is single is has one focus. He is driven towards one goal, and that is revenge against Choi Min-sik, and super violent, a lot of twists, a lot of turns, great pacing, good acting. And I don't know if I've said this before, but foreign films are amazing because they force you to pay attention. When I can just hear, I can turn off the eyes and, oh yeah, let me text my moronic friends. You can't do that with the foreign film. You're not really listening, you're reading, of course, with the eye. So you can't miss things, or you might miss an important line. So foreign films are great, and that's why people say, "Oh, I like the foreign films more." One, they make amazing movies a lot of times, or at least the ones that come over here are usually pretty good. And two, you are forced to pay attention. You can't go anywhere else. I Tanya, this is easily Margot Robbie's best performance. I'm a little upset she hasn't matched this since. I was blown away. I remember when I watched this the first time in 2017. I think I got this for like a really good price. It was like $10 at the time. I don't know how. And I just took a risk on it. And I was, I mean, I'm a dude. I'm a normal guy. This figure skating is not really my thing, but if it's good, it's good, right? I don't care what it's about. And yeah, Margot Robbie plays Tanya Harding, who of course was responsible for that infamous attack on Nancy Kerrigan. It's funny, I was big in sports growing up, and I still am to an extent. And I remember hearing about that. They would talk about that on ESPN. They never talk about figure skating, but every year they would talk about that. April 17th is the 14th anniversary of whatever. And Margot Robbie's really good in this. She's great. I like Paul. What's his name? Paul Walter Hauser, the guy who plays Richard Jewell. He was good in this too. He was actually really funny in this. This is one of the better biopics. I think I'm generally not a fan of biopics. I hate music biopics, but yeah, this is. I would recommend watching this. This is a good movie. Margot Robbie's very good in that movie. The only film, literally the only film that has ever made me cry past the age of like 8. I'm sure when I was 8 or 7 or whatever, I was crying at like Toy Story 3 or 2. It's a Wonderful Life. Yes, yes. Ooh, this movie is good. God, this movie is good. Um, I don't watch it every year because it takes such an emotional toll out of me, and I just don't want to do that. But man, this movie is good. James Stewart is awesome. Donna Reed is great. I love the guy who plays Clarence. This is just a beautiful story about appreciation of life, the important things, family, the value of doing good, the value of community, and the value of love. It's just a beautiful, beautiful film that is timeless. If you're worried about this being boring because it's black and white, if you've never watched a black and white film, this is a good one to start. I would actually recommend 12 Angry Men first. That would be my first, but this would be number 2. This movie's so good. God damn, that movie's good. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the first two in this series, but for whatever reason, I have Jackass 3. Everyone loves Jackass. Jackass is funny. I love Steve-O in these movies. He's always the one who goes the hardest. And Johnny Knoxville is very funny, not only in the sense that, as you can see, he's getting destroyed by a bull here, but also he makes jokes that are funny. Like he's like one notch below a comedian. Hell, he's funnier than Brendan Schaub and Bert Kreischer and all them. But Jackass is great. You either love it or you don't. If you don't, I completely understand. But Jackass is a movie you watch and you just go, I love being a dude. I love the dudes are awesome. I love being a guy. Jackie Brown. This is a good movie. It might be on the chopping block at some point, though it also might not, just because I do love Tarantino. I like Tarantino and I love Tarantino, but not like some of you guys. Some of you guys go hard. He's a pretty great director, but let's relax. This was a good movie. It was a little bloated. It was a little unnecessarily convoluted, and it made me wonder, like, what is the point? Like, why do we have like 20 plots in this? I liked Pam Grier. Samuel L. Jackson was pretty good. Robert De Niro was good. It was nice to see him in a Tarantino, but I don't remember a ton of this. This might be my least favorite Tarantino movie besides Death Proof. I think this is uh, up there. Okay, I remember once I was in high school. I was talking to my buddy Sean. May he rest in peace. Um, we were talking about movies, and he was telling me. Now at this point, I was probably 17. I was just getting into movies, so I had seen some of Spielberg's classics, but I didn't really know what I was talking about. And he was telling me he thought Spielberg was just a bad director and that he had never directed a good movie. Never. And I remember granting him every single movie that Spielberg did. I'll say, I'll give you that. That was bad, even though I probably disagree. Um, except for this movie, Jaws. And then he agreed to that. He goes, okay, I'll give you Jaws. And I said, yes, sir. Jaws is a legitimately great movie, no matter who you are. I don't care if you're a snobbish hipster. Jaws is good. Took me a while to watch this. You have to understand, I was not really into movies growing up. I wasn't like prevented from watching them or anything like that. But the movies I grew up on were like 6 or 7. It was like Dodgeball, School of Rock, Star Wars Episode 1. It's not even the good stuff. And I guess 2 and 3 as well. What else? Uh, maybe The Dark Knight, and that's about it. Good Will Hunting maybe when I was like 12, and then The Departed. But so it took me a while to watch this, but once I did, I was like, this is just awesome. And what's there to say about Jaws that hasn't been said? I love the way it creates tension through mystery, through not showing you everything right in the beginning. It's very simple like that. But all the acting is great. The writing's pretty good. It's just a great movie. Everyone loves Jaws. Even my friend who said all Spielberg movies suck. He likes Jaws. Next up, John Wick. Now unfortunately, I remember liking but not loving this movie the first time because when I watched it, I was so tired. I don't even know why I even put it in. But then I watched it again. I was like, no, this is a fun movie. Now, if you're just trying to be an action film and you're not trying to be super well written and you're not trying to make this big statement, at least give me good action. And that's what this does. Okay, now I haven't seen 2 or 3 because I remember thinking this is it. Just John Wick 1 and then we're good. Great action scenes. I like Lance Reddick. That's his name, right? Yeah. What's his name from The Wire? Um, Cedric from The Wire. Keanu Reeves is great in this in the sense he's great in the action scenes. I don't expect Keanu Reeves ever to give a good performance independent of his action scenes, but John Wick is fun. This is a great action movie, great fun. Joe Rabbit. We're not going to talk about Taika Waititi's other films, particularly that his crappy Thor movies or whatever the other crap he's been involved in since. But this is a legitimately great movie. Um, Scarlett Johansson's really great in this. So is Sam Rockwell. Um, there's a motif of or a little play with Scarlett Johansson's shoes. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. When they do that reveal with her red shoes, that was very powerful to me. I remember thinking that was a brilliant filmmaking sort of technique there, storytelling device. I thought that was just brilliant. But this is kind of a play or a satire of the Nazis. And this little kid, he has like an imaginary friend who's Hitler, and he's Jewish, he has to navigate, of course, his terrible circumstances. And this is a very heartfelt, heartwarming, but also funny and dramatic film at the same time. It's not just down in the dumps. There's a lot of jokes, but those jokes also don't make it so ridiculous that you can take serious those dramatic moments, and it's great. And there's a little kid in this movie named Yorkie. Absolutely. Oh, you've got a girlfriend, Jojo. Nice. Just go on YouTube and look up Jojo Rabbit Yorkie. You have a good time. That kid is hilarious. All right, next up, Jurassic Park. Everyone loves Jurassic Park. You gotta have Jurassic Park. I'm not the biggest fan of the sequels. I definitely don't like the new Jurassic Worlds. Actually, my little cousin he's super big into the Jurassic Park franchise, but Jurassic Park 1 is a classic. You gotta have Jurassic Park. I mean, cliche, obligatory. The effects in this movie look better than the ones now. It's true. Um, I remember not loving the human characters except for Hammond and the fat guy. See, nobody gives a shit. I remember liking that guy. But everything else was so awesome that it was. Yeah, there's a few scenes and a few moments that are a little ridiculous, like oh, clever girl. And then the dinosaur like waits for him to get the one liner in. And it's like, we're watching movies, people. Okay, relax. Have a good time. All right, next up, Kill Bill 1, Kill Bill 2, Kill Bill 1, Kill Bill 2. Now, these are actually my girlfriend's favorite movies. And I watched those for the first time with her when we first started dating. And I like these. I like Uma Thurman in it. I like the action. I will say they're on the lower list of Tarantino. It's not that they're bad by any means. It's just the subject matter and the style just isn't it's just not really for me. Um, But when Tarantino does it, it's still going to be great, right? Because it's Tarantino. So great action scenes, a lot of blood, a lot of violence, a lot of kind of cheeky one-liners that kind of know what they're doing. And yeah, this is a solid. Okay, this is a funny story. So I was watching this with my girl. Um, it was actually at my house when I was at my mother's house. And my mom came in and we were watching the movie. And she goes, "What are you guys watching?" And I go, "Oh, Kill Bill. These are my girlfriend's favorite movies." And she goes, "That's not Kill Bill." Now, of course, my girlfriend has seen this like 30 times, so she knows what she's watching. She goes, "Yeah, it's Kill Bill." And my mom goes, "Are you sure?" As if she has the authority here. It's just absurd. All right, next pile. This is a fun movie. Fun in a dark way. Killing of a Sacred Deer. Yeah, by Yorgos Lanthimos. This is a really good movie. I really didn't love. I really don't like Dogtooth. Dogtooth, I wanted to love. I was like, this is gonna be a cool hipster movie. It's got a cool title, Dogtooth. Ooh, that's cool. Smoking cigarettes in your leather jacket. Wow, that was terrible. Poor Things was a miss for me. Even though it was pretty and Emma Stone was good, but this is a hit. Killing of a Sacred Deer. Barry Keoghan is so good in this movie. It is one of the best performances of the decade. He plays a villain. It's one of my favorite villain performances ever. He plays like this weak and weird villain who does bad things, but he's clearly intelligent and he's clearly like knows what he's doing, but he doesn't come off that way. Like he tries to play it as if he's just this, oh, I'm just this dumb kid and I'm just so stupid. I don't know, but no, he knows what he's doing. This is another movie, by the way. Um, where we're kind of tossing out realism a little bit and we're doing, remember, the symbolic for themes and it's more powerful, right? That's what this is. Because if you start going, wait, where are the cops in all this? You're going to miss the point. Okay. We're not trying to be realistic. We're trying to touch the soul. So if realism stands in the way, then it needs to go. Nicole Kidman's good. Colin Farrell's good. It's got that Yorgos weirdness to it where you're just like, why is everyone acting that way? And it feels like you're in a different world, but it's so similar to the one we live in. It's just everyone acts just a little off. Please watch this just for Barry Keoghan alone. He's so good. He's so good in that movie. Speaking of Yorgos, Kinds of Kindness, I maybe unpopularly, I enjoyed this more than Poor Things. Poor Things, I guess we'll talk about Poor Things. Here's the problem with Poor Things. It's clearly like a feminist film, despite being more misogynist than anything it tries to show in the movie. So the whole point, right, is Emma Stone's character is kind of freed into the wild, and then she's kind of just exploited for sex. And the whole point is like, look how misogynist this culture is. One, there's a lot to say about this movie. One, um, there's a scene early on where she's freed and she goes and she listens to someone sing, and she has this almost numinous experience, if you will. And it's like this, wow, like music is really passionate to her. But even when she attains freedom, all she wants to do is have sex. So, on one hand, it's trying to condemn society for being so sexist. On the other hand, it is being sexist because you have removed all agency from this woman, despite the fact that she is kind of freed. She has her own choices. And you said no. All you want to do as a woman, as a free woman, is have sex. And but then you're also trying to simultaneously condemn that. It's like, no, you wrote that. You wrote her to be this way. And then there's all these terrible lines where there's one point where Mark Ruffalo, they bang like 1,000 times, him and Emma Stone, and she wants to keep going again, and he's like, I have to go to work, and she goes, oh, well, isn't that something that females would be better than men at? It's like, I I can't tell if this is trying to be a parody or if this is trying to make a serious point. In your feminist film, if you are seriously trying to make the point that women are superior because they can go for longer, I it's so absurd on its face. It makes me just think, oh, this must be parody. You must be parodying people. The idea that your view of woman is just this base, primitive, but animal thing that we like. It's just delusional. And then the one scene where you had that one pessimistic guy where he just showed like all this terrible stuff, and he just started spitting like this terrible Schopenhauer. Like that was terrible. So the whole point is she has like a 30-year-old's body, but like a 5-year-old's mind. So all of a sudden, like magically, I have no idea. On Wednesday, she was reading When You Give a Mouse a Cookie, and then on Thursday, she's reading philosophy, and they go, and this is another pet peeve of mine. They go, "What are you reading?" Philosophy. And then this dumb old lady goes, read Goethe. No, don't tell me to read Goethe, okay? You're not smart for referencing Goethe without getting into his ideas. That is pseudo intellectualism. Show me why I should read Goethe. Get into his ideas. What do you think about Goethean morphology? What do you think about his color theory? What do you think about Faust? And the divine feminine will carry us on. I don't know, because all you're trying to do is smoke a cigarette with your leather jacket and be like, I like Goethe. What about you? Yeah, we got it, dude. We got it. Um, that movie was a complete miss for me. Just having said that, Kinds of Kindness, which is kind of like three separate stories about, I guess, Kinds of Kindness. It's got all that Yorgos weirdness. The stories are separate from each other in a narrative sense, but they're connected thematically, and it's fun going back and trying to draw those through lines of like, oh yeah, it is about this. Um, so Jesse Plemons, Emma Stone, Marco Qualley, who else we got? Willem Dafoe. All of them star in each of the stories, so you get them playing different characters in each of the stories, and it's weird and it's cool, and I like this. This was kind of panned when it came out. I remember I couldn't see this in theaters because there was one showing like 3 hours away. I just can't justify it, especially when it was getting such mixed reviews. Just open, please. Show your films in theaters so I can support you. King Kong. This is a fun movie. Maybe not the best in terms of technical quality, but is a little corny at times. It was beauty that killed the beast, or whatever he says. But I think this is way better than all the blockbuster slop we get nowadays. I think the action scenes were good. I always remember King Kong snapping that T Rex's neck. I remember when I was like 10, I was like, movies are awesome. I love this world. And yeah, it's really not that bad. I don't know if it got panned just because it wasn't as good as Lord of the Rings at the time, and I will admit to you, it's not. But I don't think it's that bad. I didn't think Jack Black was that bad either. He might not have been great or even good, but he's not as bad as some of you guys are saying. Go give that movie a rewatch if you haven't seen it. King of Comedy. This could have been an amazing movie, and everything about the main story and Robert De Niro and his journey is really great and really awesome. This movie gets destroyed. I have never seen a movie get so bogged down. Not even bogged down, just so torn down in terms of quality based on the love in the girl that they had in this movie. So bad. The way they went with the character, the actress was terrible. It wasted time. It took away time from Rupert Pupkin. Um, it's just so bad. This is about a what's the word? Struggling comedian who wants to be a host of some sort of uh, Jay Leno or what's his name, uh, Letterman show, that kind of thing. But what this movie's really about is entitlement, narcissism, and kind of yeah, exactly that, entitlement and narcissism. Um, it's a good movie. Robert De Niro is really great in this. When people say Joker is just a ripoff of this and Taxi Driver, I agree. Sorry, I know some people don't like that. I don't care. Kingpin, this is a great movie. I remember enjoying this way more than I thought it was. I thought it was just going to be a dumb. I like smart dumb movies. I don't like just dumb movies. It's some of them are just not as funny, but this I remember liking a lot. Even Randy Quaid's character, I thought that was funny. Woody Harrelson's really great. You got to watch Kingpin. Kingpin's awesome. The King's Speech. This is a good one. Colin Firth is really good. I love Jeffrey Rush. It was nice to see him in something other than like Barbosa from Pirates of the Caribbean. And then Helena Bonham Carter was good, but this was about King. I don't know, King Neville, Walter, Henry, Harold the Eighth, or whatever. Just one of the most boring names of all time. And he has a stutter, and then of course it's tradition that he has to give some speech. And this is about him overcoming that and all the pressure that's on him because and also how weird he is because he lives such a odd life and he's such a privileged life that he's an interesting guy. Pretty good. This is better than um. It's a good like one time watch. I might rewatch it again. That's not to say it's bad that I won't rewatch it, but it's not something you would watch a ton. But if you're nervous about this, I would say give it a try. It's not as boring as you'd think. It's well directed. It looks good, and the acting's great. So give it a shot. All these movies you should give a shot. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. If I looked up idiot in the dictionary, you know what I'd find? A picture of me. No, I find the definition of idiot, which you fucking are. This is a funny movie. Robert Downey Jr. is good. Val Kilmer's really great. R.I.P. Rest in peace. And Michelle Monaghan. I remember when I watched this movie, I had the biggest crush on Michelle Monaghan after watching this movie. I was like, who is that? I had never seen her in anything before. If you like The Nice Guys, this is the same director and writer. The Nice Guys is pretty much just a later remake of this film. So definitely watch this movie. It's got that super fun buddy cop, wisecracking, sort of quippy, kind of like The Nice Guys, exactly like that. LA Confidential. I watched this for the first time like almost 10 years ago. And I remember liking it, but I don't remember I didn't remember much from it. And then I rewatched it like a few months ago and I remember, yeah, this was a good movie. Guy Pearce has like the straightest jawline I've ever seen. It's like a cut glass. It was just unreal. Kevin Spacey is funny in this movie. I'll never forget this line where he's dressed up like a politician and he's kind of doing this suave thing. And he's dancing with some broad and he goes, "Oh, honey, that's just the public me. America would never be able to handle the real me." And I remember just watching that and thinking to myself, I am just amazed that that has not become a GIF or a meme in some way. But this is a good cop, corrupt cop. The good cop heroically investigates the corruption, and it's nothing you really haven't seen. It's like a noir film, but it is very good and probably one of the better films of the '90s. It's a fun movie, and Danny DeVito's in it too. He's funny. Lady Bird. This is a solid movie, and it might be the only Greta Gerwig movie I like. I have not seen Little Women. My mom said it was good, and I've heard others say that was good. That was, I think, based on like a classic novel, so it's probably good. This is a solid movie. It's not that good. I remember overrating it when I first saw it because I just was so desperate to watch a good movie that year. I was like, yes, this is it. This is a good movie. This is about just kind of some manic pixie dream girl weirdo and a coming of age story. Now, the scene stealer in this movie is Timothée Chalamet. He is that what I was joking about earlier about the leather jacket and the smoking his cigarette. He is so funny. He is gold in this movie. He's like sitting on his little car smoking his cigarette, and Lady Bird comes in and tells him something. That's hella tight. And when he said that the first time, oh man, I remember I paused the movie and I just burst out like I think actually I laughed for 5 minutes straight. Hilarious. And then every time Lady Bird complains about something, like her dad runs off or something, he goes, "Oh, that's crazy. Do you know how many people were murdered in Iraq today?" Oh, it's so good. I would watch it just for him, or at least find his scenes on YouTube because they are gold. Here we go. La La Land. I love this movie. I know it's kind of cool now to hate on this movie. Oh, it's not that good. No, La La Land is awesome. And this is coming from someone who doesn't like musicals. I'm a straight dude. Ryan Gosling is great. I love Damien Chazelle. I think I spoke about my love for him, or at least his first three films in another video, so I won't repeat that here. But it's like a great musical for people who don't like musicals. I could honestly see someone who likes musicals kind of being disappointed in this a little bit because there's like 6 songs in it, and like 5 of them are in the first 20 minutes, or maybe 7 songs. This is just a beautiful film. I love this movie. Everything about it. It's like borderline perfect in my opinion. Um, I love the characters. Some people like to say they're narcissistic people or just like bad people. Get over yourself. Shut up. Emma Stone is amazing in this. Ryan Gosling is great in this too. Neither of them are going so over the top. The aesthetics, just the way it's shot, the lighting, and I love the sequences where the dreamlike sequences and everything, the choreography, the colors. It's just a beautiful film and it's well written. It's about something. I like the songs. It's perfectly paced. Everything. It's like a perfect film. I love this movie. I don't care what any. I know it's cool to hate on Moonlight and La La Land now. I don't care. You are wrong. This movie's awesome. The Last Duel. Ridley Scott is as good as the script that he is directing. This is a good movie. I spent too much money on this movie on the Blu-ray, but I wanted to support Ridley Scott movies because he was complaining that no one watched it. So I went. So I spent $30 on your little Blu-ray here. This is a good movie. It was not worth $30. This is a movie about exactly that, the last ever recorded duel, in a sort of official, authorized sense, and what it was about. And it was about a woman, and it was sort of this lovers' quarrel between political high ups and Matt Damon and Adam Driver, and then Ben Affleck's good too. Ben Affleck's really good in this. I love it. Look at that haircut. Look at that. He's actually pretty good in this. And it's a good movie. I like it's what do they call it? Rosh Hashan filmmaking. So you see kind of the same events but from different perspectives, and that's pretty cool. It's well directed. This is a hit from Ridley Scott, and Ridley Scott is a great director. So when he directs a hit, you should watch it. But when he directs Napoleon, you should kill yourself. This is a good movie. I like the location. I like the shots. I like the setting. I like the what do they call it? Shoot, scenery. I guess that's some good stuff. The Last King of Scotland. What's his name? 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 Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker is awesome in this movie. I'll tell you what though. About 30 to 40 minutes into this film, I knew that this was based on a true story. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that James McAvoy's character was just completely made up, straight fiction, not a real person. The idea that you would have a white Irishman looking like me as like the number two in Nigeria or wherever the hell this was, um, it is absurd on its face, and it obviously did not happen. But this is a good movie. What I like about this movie is James McAvoy's character. Um, he's the hero. He's the protagonist, at least. He's the one you're supposed to be rooting for. But he does things that are not good. He does things that a villain would do. And I miss that. I miss when writers would really make the protagonists do bad things and then realize, oh, I'm doing bad things, and then redeem themselves, try to save lives instead of taking them. They don't do that anymore. Everyone's either a self-insert, so they don't want to hurt themselves, or they just don't have the balls to do it. I don't understand. But you should watch this for Forrest Whitaker alone. Forrest Whitaker is dynamite in this. He's got the charisma, he's got the fear factor, but also the charismatic, charming aspect too. Of course, this is about Idi Amin, who was a I, I, you can't even describe these people because whatever word you're going to use doesn't fit. I mean, psychopath is just way too easy on him. Just one of the worst people in the history of our species, and he was just a monster. Last Night in Soho. This is a good movie, not a great movie. Probably my least favorite Edgar Wright movie. Um, it's certainly not scary, unfortunately. Uh, that just kind of is what it is. Um, Unfortunately, it's pretty and it's well written enough and it's pretty enough, but it doesn't have that Edgar Wright stamp to it. Like Baby Driver has that opening sequence where you're like, wow, that's Edgar Wright. Um, the Cornetto trilogy's got all of it. I'm not a fan of the movie, but Scott Pilgrim vs. the World has it. What else? He did another one too. Yeah, but they all have that Edgar Wright where you're like, clearly this is someone who knows what he's doing and someone with a particular style. This is kind of there, Um, not really. The soundtrack is good. Thomasin McKenzie's good. I love Anya Taylor-Joy more than anything, but it's pretty good. It might make the chopping block at some point, but I do love Edgar Wright, so I want to support him. The Last Samurai. This is a fun movie. Um, yeah, you sort of seen the plot before. It's that sort of Pocahontas get captured by the enemy, and then you become the enemy, and then the enemy becomes friend, right? Uh, there was kind of like I remember an outrage over this movie about like a white savior thing. That's really not what this is about at all. But I like I just miss when movies would actually do things on location and they would have a bunch of extras and they would be riding real horses and it wasn't just CGI. That's why I have this movie because there's a lot of great epic battle scenes that are not done through CGI. And Kenwa Watanabe, I believe it was. Ken Watanabe, is that what it is? He's great in everything. He's great in this as well. Tom Cruise is good in this. Not amazing, not like one of the greatest things ever, but definitely a solid movie for sure. 4 hours long. Lawrence of Arabia. You know it had to be in here. This movie is awesome. It's funny. I actually did tap out of this movie. I planned on watching the whole 4 hours, but for whatever reason, I was just really tired and I didn't realize when I started it. So I was so tired after an hour, I realized I really like this movie and I'm about to fall asleep. So I need to just take a nap real quick, and then I watch it when I get up, and that's what I did because I didn't want to miss anything. This movie's so awesome. It's about this dude Lawrence, who's an English diplomat, I think, and he tries to unite the warring Arabic tribes. And and of course, this is in the '60s, so instead of just having Arabic people who are good actors doing the role, they had Obi-Wan Kenobi. What's his name? Alec Guinness playing the Arabic people, so that's good. But this movie's just so awesome. This movie's so epic. Everything I said about The Last Samurai and the physical on location shots applies to this like times 10. So many amazing shots, so many great moments, so many great sequences, so many great battles, so many great scenes of just dialogue and conversation and disagreement and sort of a culture clash. So many great shots and aesthetic just beauties. This is an amazing film. And if you're ever kind of worried about this, don't be. Watch it. If you're into film, you got to watch this. And you should be wanting to watch this because this is a really great movie. This should not be something that you're dreading going into. This should be something that you're really excited to go into. This is something you don't see nowadays with 4 hour films. And honest to God, I remember not thinking that I wanted it to be shorter. I was cool. You could have given me another 4 hours of this, and I would have watched. Please watch this. Lawrence Arabia is freaking awesome. Lawless. I haven't seen this in a while. This was a good movie. This was like what 2012. This got a great cast: Shia LaBeouf, Tom Hardy, Gary Oldman, Jessica Chastain, and Guy Pearce. This was like a bootlegger, good guy, bad guy, but the bad guys are the good guys. So Tom Hardy, I love Tom Hardy. I had a huge man crush on Tom Hardy. He plays like a southern just badass kind of bootlegging or no moonshining I think it is actually just kind of a badass, and then Shia LaBeouf plays his understudy, and Guy Pearce is that kind of corrupt cop who follows them. Good movie. I like all the cool cars and all the old machine guns. It's nothing like incredible, but if you're ever bored, I think it's more than worth a watch. Oh yes, 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 you're about to hear me make a bunch of quotes. I'm back. I've got my check. Baby, I'm ready to sign. Leaving Las Vegas. This movie is gold. Nicolas Cage, and this I watched this like 4 times in one week. The first time I watched, just because Nicolas Cage was so funny in this. This is about an alcoholic, someone who's let alcohol kind of destroy his life. So he decides he's going to go to Vegas and kill himself in an alcoholic sort of bender, and he attempts to do just that. And he meets Elizabeth Shue, who's a prostitute. They fall in love, and what happens? Please watch this movie. Nicolas Cage. He won an Oscar for this. So, in some sense, he's falling back on those Nicolas Cageisms where it's just this over the top, completely absurd. But it also makes sense for his character because that's what his character is, an over the top alcoholic who's just drunk. And when it's time to be funny and over the top, he's great. When it's time to be serious, he's very good in that as well. He can be very. There's so many great lines. Like there's oh my god, the opening like 10 minutes of this movie when he's going to the liquor store and he has the shopping cart just filled to the brim with alcohol. Like you can't even put more stuff, and he's just throwing stuff in. You got Michael McDonald's "Lonely Teardrops" playing in the background. Gold. Uh, you do not kick the bar. You lean into the bar. It's not Vino Veritas. It's N Vino Veritas. So many just great random quotes. Um, if you want to see Nicolas Cage being over the top drunk, but also be good enough to win an Oscar, please watch this. This movie's awesome. It's also a little sad too, unfortunately. So it does strike that great combination of sad and depressing and really funny and really hilarious. And please watch this for Nicolas Cage. He's legitimately great in this. That movie made a big impact on me when I first watched it, even if only because I thought it was like Danny Brown's music, funny in the sense that you're laughing at it because it's stupid, but also really good at the same time. Leon the Professional. This was a good movie. I don't feel a ton of desire to like rewatch this. I remember the I don't know. I hesitate to say love story. Um, you see a very young Natalie Portman. I mean, very young. I'm talking like 10 or 11. And Leon is like a hitman, and he's kind of doing his thing. And then Natalie Portman, I can't remember, she comes from tragedy or bad circumstance. And then she kind of goes under his wing, and then she kind of develops a crush on him. Now, thankfully, this crush was not reciprocated, because if it was, I would not have done this. Um, but yeah, a good movie. I remember thinking this is a good movie. Gary Oldman was hilarious in this movie. He was also kind of doing like a Nicolas Cage thing in this, where he was just so dramatic and gravitas. Yes, he was funny. He was memorable in this movie, undeniably. But this is a good movie. I don't remember too much from it, but yeah, solid movie. Let's see. Lethal Weapon. This was a good movie. Will I ever rewatch this movie realistically? It's definitely 80s, and it's got that sort of dude aspect to it that I like. Mel Gibson's good. Danny Glover was really good in this, but I don't know. It's definitely a good movie, and sometimes some of these movies I might not be super in love with, but I feel like I kind of have to own because they're in a collection. But as I get older, I realize like no, I just want the movies I want. But this was a good movie. If I walked in and this was on, I would not complain. Everyone, what's there to say about Lethal Weapon? Mel Gibson was hilarious. Life is Beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. Roberto Benigni, he plays a Jewish man who loses all his property, pretty much everything, and then is taken into the Holocaust. Him and his son, and his wife is sort of on the outside. Thankfully, not being in the concentration camps. And this is what this is about: is finding beauty in the absolute most dire and worst of circumstances and harrowing of circumstances. It is about choosing to create your own reality when the reality you live in is insufferable, and doing it knowing that it's ridiculous, but doing it because of that. Because even if it's ridiculous, it's better than this torment that is happening behind me. It's a very beautiful film. It's a very touching film. It's not, again, it's not the most like realistic in the sense. You kind of know what I mean if you watch it, but again, this is a mythical form of art of the imagination, images, imagination. There's a connection. Um, crafting and shaping of symbols and images to touch the soul, carry the spirit forward. I don't care about hyper-realism if it means it's not going to touch the soul. Definitely watch this movie. Foreign movie too. One of my favorites, The Lighthouse. I love Robert Pattinson. Have a huge man crush on Robert Pattinson. That kind of died a little bit with the Batman. Watching him do My Chemical Romance emo shit, that was a little. That was a little kind of a weird experience for me. I was like, am I falling out of love with Robert? He was good in Mickey 17, though. The movie was not good, but he was good in it. This movie's amazing. I love this movie. I love the way it's shot. I love the way it's filmed. I love the way it's acted. I love the way it's written. I love the way it's weird. I love the mythical, symbolic interpretations. I love Robert Pattinson's character in it. I love him as an actor in it. He's playing it. He's just this is probably his career best, honestly. Willem Dafoe is one of his best performances. He's playing essentially a parody of like an Ahab figure. It's a psychological drama. It's dark. It's dirty. It's weird. It makes you feel like you're going crazy with the characters. It's tense. I love everything about this movie. It's beautiful too. It's black and white, and it's beautiful nonetheless. Robert Eggers knows what he's doing. Um, I think this will probably go down as his peak. I think the question is, will he be able to reattain this? He might be able to surpass this, but I might even give this like a 10 out of 10. I love this movie. I actually could go. This could go for a rewatch. Um, it's just great. I love it. I love everything about it. It's. I remember seeing it in theaters, and I didn't love it when I saw it in theaters because unfortunately I saw it in like Towson, I think, for whatever reason. Oh, actually no, not for whatever reason. They didn't have subtitles right in the movie theater, and the sound system wasn't that good, so I was missing like 35% of the dialogue just because like I couldn't hear with all the creaking and the weird noises in the film. And I remember there was a reveal about who Robert Pattinson's character kind of really was. And when he said that name, I remember thinking this is a huge moment in the film, and I don't care because I couldn't hear what they were saying, so I'm just missing it. But then I bought it on Blu-ray, turned the subtitles on, and I was just like, this is amazing. Yes, I went from like a 7 or 8 out of 10 to like a 10. Lincoln, I actually tried to rewatch this. Um, the other day. This could go for a rewatch. I remember Daniel Day-Lewis is awesome in it. The cast is incredible. It's kind of mind-blowing how many uh, big actors, past, present, and future, are in this. Um, I think there's just even like these random characters with just one throwaway line. Or it's like, oh, that's the guy who would be Kendall in Succession. Like, oh, that's Joseph Gordon-Levitt who's just got like three lines. This is just about Lincoln and his life, and I like how it's kind of about a political struggle, and shows that no, it was really, really, really difficult to free the slaves and to abolish slavery, and there was a lot of compromise and trade-off. And I think modern day people don't really respect that enough. I think they like take the three-fifths compromise. It was exactly that, a compromise. Now I think that's abhorrent, or of course, like the idea that people of certain races are only three-fifths of a white person. That's ridiculous. Nonetheless, people at that time did feel that way. They didn't even feel that way. They thought they were 0 out of 5. So yeah, 5 out of 5, 0 out of 5. If it really is like a compromise that must be made so you can progress and make advancements, sometimes you got to do it. And then you continue to fight another day, and now we don't have that anymore. Thankfully, that's a good thing. It's a good movie. It was a little slow. Could go for a rewatch. I couldn't imagine myself getting rid of it, but I could go for a rewatch. Little Miss Sunshine. This was a good movie. I like Steve Carell in this movie. He plays like a depressed person. I can relate. Greg Kinnear, I had never really heard of him before or seen him in anything since. I don't know if he like punched Harvey Weinstein in the face for as revenge for grabbing his girl or whatever. But Tony Collette's good. Paul Dano was pretty good. I like the Nietzsche joke in this. That was pretty funny. It's a little weird towards the end. I think it gets a little odd, and it's like, okay, this is a little weird. But Alan Arkin was really good too. And what happens with him? I'm not going to reveal. I don't want to spoil. But what happens with him? You almost think, okay, but that didn't really happen, right? Like he's gonna like that's not happen. Okay, and you expect him like something to happen later, but it never does. This is a fun movie. This is about uh, it's really about losers. It's about celebrating people who've lost, and that's the majority of people. Like I played soccer growing up. I'm not Lionel Messi, my friend. I lost. In many ways. I did not achieve my goal in becoming the next Lionel Messi. Nonetheless, I still like my life. That's kind of what this is about. And it's about a bunch of losers just kind of accepting that and finding meaning in that and being like, okay, well, you know what? We're all losers together. The Lobster, another Yorgos film. This is a good movie. This is a good movie. I think this isn't really a spoiler. I think he becomes the lobster at the end in the diner. And I think when it's just the last shot, I think he's in the bathroom and he is a lobster. That's what I think. This is a story. Everything about Yorgos is weird, right? And that's cool. So there are always these weird kind of mythical plots, which I like. I wish we could get a little more of that. um, I think it's about a man who signs a contract where I think he's just to become a lobster if he ever finds love or something like that. But there's some contract where he has to become a lobster, and he gets thrown into this very weird and strange world. Beautifully directed, beautifully acted, beautifully shot. Colin Farrell's great. Rachel Weisz is great. Lea Seydoux is great. John C. Reilly's really good. Everyone's good in this movie. It's very weird. It's very different. It's always offbeat, but not like in a Wes Anderson way, in like a dark Wes Anderson way. And it's just interesting. I could go for a better title. I'll probably do a rant about that in a different video. But Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I'm not gonna lie, this is a movie that on paper I like. A lot of sort of witty dialogue, a lot of action, a lot of machismo, male bravado kind of stuff. But for whatever reason, it's really good, and I think on a technical level it's really good. But it's short, and I remember thinking about halfway through, yeah, this could end soon. Just I don't know why. It hasn't made the biggest impact on me since. I prefer Snatch. We'll put it that way. This might go. Not to say it's a bad movie. This is not a bad movie by any means. But for whatever reason, I just haven't thought about it since. But I also am not rushing to throw it away either. There's a Guy Ritchie film, probably one of his only good ones. And yeah, last one in this video. Let's see. Let's see if it's a good one. You know, this is a good movie. If I The reason why is because I am tired of comic book movies. Was tired of comic book movies in 2015. So you can imagine my frustration when the comic book bomb went off. after that. And instead of getting 2 comic book or 3 comic book movies a year, we got like 10, and they were all worse than the last. Now, there was a point, I think this was 2017, where I told myself, I'm done. I'm done doing comic book movies. They're trash. I don't like them. I don't dislike them because they're comic book movies or because they're popular. It's because they suck. So I was tired of them, and I was frustrated that all of our summer blockbusters were trashy, terrible comic movies. That was very frustrating to me because I had to essentially wait until November to see a good movie. And normally, I don't have to do that. You get one or two in the summer, and then there you go. But unfortunately, Logan was that first film that was on the chopping block. I was already kind of done with comic book movies at that point. I probably hadn't watched them in years, but I had just made an official ruling. I was done, at least in theaters. And what a shame that was, because this is like a top 3 comic book movie of all time. It's not quite as good as The Dark Knight, but it is on that sort of level where it's not just this CGI bloated nonsense. It's actually about something, and it's grounded and it's dark and the action is good, and there's actually a character arc. Oh wow. The little girl stuff was kind of dumb. I don't like little girls in movie. I've decided every time it was like that Kingdom of the no, War for the Planet of the Apes. It's like such a waste of time. The villain wasn't that great, but Hugh Jackman was awesome. I thought it was a great send off for his character. Again, it's really beautifully shot. Um, that's what happens when you actually film on location. You have people who know what they're doing. Shocking, I know. Um, it was. It's like this quote on the back, unexpectedly moving. It really was. I was very surprised by how good this was. And I didn't see this until 3, 4 years later. I don't even know how I saw it. But I think enough people just said it was good that I was like, okay, fine, I'll give it a shot. And then I was like, yeah, this is actually really good. And it's just ironic that one of the best comic book movies was the first one to sort of get chopped off at the end. All right, guys, I love you guys so much. I really hope you enjoy this. Please comment some of your favorite movies or where I went wrong on some of my opinions. These are just fun movies. If you happen to watch this and you haven't watched my other films, if you're into intellectual stuff, I go through a book called John Gebster's The Ever-Present Origin. It's really a profound book. I try to dumb it down as simply as I can and make it digestible and simple for you guys. And we're having a lot of fun going through that. So if you guys are interested in that, um, please consider watching and watch my kill rationalism videos as well. You don't want to be a rationalist. You don't want to go down that road. That's a dangerous road. So I'm going to try to do these a little more often, and then after uh, my movie collection, I'll do my record collection. I'm very excited about that. I've been listening to a lot of good music recently. So I love you guys. I will see you soon, and hope you're thriving. Thank you.